Anyway,
Nobody saw it.
folks, it is 7 o'clock. I would like to welcome everyone here. Even before calling the council to order, I would like to thank my entire council, Ms. Brown, everybody who's working for us for covering for the time that I haven't been able to be here. And I've been checking with them on all kinds of things and cheering for them. I'm very thrilled that I set them loose from the very beginning to do their jobs in the first place, so that when I wasn't here, they were able to do it and didn't have to wonder what to do because they already knew their jobs. So I'm really pleased. I'm pleased to be back. I'm not pleased to have been gone. And for those who are wondering, my wife did have a stroke on October 27th. It was devastating, and we've been working on getting better ever since, and she's doing very well right now, and we're finally home. So we're thrilled to be. I will now call council to order, and I'll have a reading from Councillor Hanson, please.
In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge our meeting place. The city of Flin Flon Council Chambers is situated on the ancestral lands of the Treaty 5 territory. We would like to acknowledge that we also work in partnership with the First Nations in Treaty 6 and 10 territories and the Métis Nation.
Thank you. Now, Councillor Slett, the reading confirming the minutes.
Yes, be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held March 5th, 2024 be adopted as received.
The seconder,
Second.
Councillor Eagle, all in favor? That's done. This is where we hear delegations, and I seem to have Mr. McBratney wants to say something to us, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, Greg. Would you like to just, I don't think you need a mic, do you?
No, no.
Could you stand behind her?
Probably, yeah.
You can stand, sit, whatever you
But
want.
anyway, mine's pretty much a repeat of just what George said. Maureen went into kidney failure in June. And we were in Saskatoon for 8.5 months. And let me tell you, it's the worst 8.5 months I've ever spent anywhere in my whole life. A lot of good things happened during that period, but it all started with the village council, the Creighton council, and the Flin Flon council all sending letters to the pertinent health ministers and getting the word out that this issue of our tri-community always fighting over this stupid bloody border issue has to be resolved. And what I'm trying to do going forward is not only thanking the council here, but the other councils for their participation. But going forward, I'm going to ask council to take into consideration that we are a tri-community. We have a tri-community economic development officer. We have a tri-community recreation and sports. We also have tri-community tourism. But if we don't have health care, we have nothing. So what I'm trying to do, and I have talked to Raj, swear I've never met the man. I've talked to him twice on the phone, 3 times on the phone. I talked to him when we got home. And going forward, and I've asked the council of Denair Beach and the council of Creighton to take into consideration, and I'm going to ask the council of Flin Flon to do the same consideration. I don't know how this is going to look going forward, but I would like to have one representative from each council. I'm having a face-to-face with Raj. Apparently he's got some things in the works about trying to reorganize and get better health care in Flin Flon. He actually mentioned something about a health community advisory board. I don't know what it looks like. But going forward, we have to start acting as an area. I've lived here all my life. I was born in that hospital. My wife was born in that hospital. Our children were born in that hospital. but we can't get health care in that hospital.
Yeah.
That's a disgrace.
It took 8.5 months for me to be allowed to come back to our home to have a life-saving treatment 3 times a week. They told us, the first doctor actually said to us in the hospital, the day before we were being discharged, oh, just get a Manitoba health card. And I kind of went,
And that's where
I don't
else.
think I can do that because I live in Saskatchewan. And he literally said to us, just get your daughter who lives in Flin Flon to take her name off the bill, leave the billing stuff the same and just put your name on the bill. And I kind of went, I'm pretty sure that would be fraud.
Yeah.
But, you know,
And that's what
8
our
months
lawyer
later,
told us.
we finally got permission to come home.
Yeah.
Some rules were changed because of the fight that we put up. So going forward, like, Farad is gonna be wanting people to come in for this new mine, trying getting people to come here, young people to come here, might be really hard if they can't have a baby here.
Yeah.
Or have basic things like that done. So we really need to work as a, like Greg said, a tri-community, just to better all 3 communities.
So you realize you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we kind of, and like I said, it's gonna be a repetition. I understand you actually went and seen the health minister a couple
We
times. in
did.
Winnipeg.
We did, and actually, they had come up with a partial resolution by the time we actually spoke to them. But prior to that, I had spoken to the assistant minister or whatever in Saskatchewan. You know, it's been, yes, people have been talking on your behalf from every direction, and
Yeah.
and it was really, well, a great feeling to see that you got the airtime that you did on both sets. Well, not just Saskatchewan and Manitoba radio, but people from BC were telling me about the story. You know,
Yeah.
so it was everywhere across the country was getting your story, which was good. So now so what I think I'm hearing from you is you don't have an actual plan, that you have a theory that says that you'd like somebody from each community to represent and to work towards that
Bettering health care.
unified health system.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what our plan is. I don't know how we're gonna work it out yet, but we'll do the same, and we will speak to Raj. I can speak for everybody when I say that we will be speaking to them. We will be taking part in anything that ties that in, because for anybody to have services here, to have proper services here counts on the numbers. The numbers count on, we don't have the numbers on ourselves, just like if you take the population of the city of Flin Flon. You know, we wouldn't even have the population to be a city unless we already were. So the point is, we need the group around us, that's Cranberry, that's all the areas around, we can keep naming places, not just Denier Beach and Creighton. We need all those people to be working together to say, look, this is ours, this is our health center, and this is what we need, so that when they count the numbers in Manitoba to what they're gonna do, they're counting the numbers not just on a Manitoba census, but on a user basis. And to do that, we've already interested the Saskatchewan government in being a part of this, because they've compared it to how they deal with it in Lloydminster. So it's a little different there because they provide the service and the Alberta buys it from them. It's just, but they understand it and they have contracts. So I think that we're in a situation where it will take time. And
The
we
door is
don't
open.
run into this anymore, but we have to fix it. And we have to fix it for everybody, because people who come to this area, some will move to Flin Flon, some will move to Creighton, and some will move to Denier Beach as employment starts to reestablish, and we think that it will. So, but it won't unless we have those services. So you're right.
I got an email. No, sorry, I don't email. I got a text on Facebook talking to somebody and said, well, what do you mean you're not a Flin Flon? You're Jack Friedman.
I heard that today.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's exactly what you're saying, George. It's the door is open.
We just need to
With
pursue.
Raj, there's already things he's working on. Trying to, one of the things that I discussed with Raj, and he brought up the numbers, not me. He said there's 8,000 people on the other side of the open pit. I said, Raj, you're mistaken. It's more like 12.
Yeah.
And those numbers were not counted in the cuts that Helga Bryant made.
That's right.
So when we did meet with the health minister, George and I went, their team was really open to that, and we provided them the documentation of that, because George is right, like if we go off of our numbers, it's 5,000, but it's actually 22,000 that service and use us as the hub, whether you're in Saskatchewan or Manitoba. This government is very open, and the door is open. They
That's good.
recognize the
This
issue.
government, the one before was.
No,
No.
and so their team was very open and had said to us that they when we sat down at the table, they already knew about your story.
Yeah.
They were really open to the conversation about it and us talking about our region. We also invited them to come because they've not been to Flin Flon. WAB has, but the health minister hasn't. It's really difficult to make decisions in a tri-community if you don't know how close we all are.
Yeah.
So
The picture's worth 1,000 words.
So
Take
the-
her over to the hospital and show her
exactly.
the line.
The new
Yeah.
There it
public
is.
medical officer has came, which is really great because they never have. So they were here 2 weeks ago and we met with them, and that was a really great meeting as well. And they recognized like a lot of the issues, especially with the border. So that's really great. But they had already been talking to the Saskatchewan government when we got there. So we gave them a list of the services that we had previous in our hospital, and asked to have them reinstated based on our numbers. We talked about the new ER and that our community had really bought into that and raised $2 million for that.
$55 million.
Exactly. So it's not being utilized to the best of it. And yeah, for retention, we need that. So, and it's also waiting on other services. So if we don't have a CT scan and the PA does, all of our people are going there. Same with an MRI unit. So the mobile MRI unit will be a great
7 days before
Exactly.
she crashed.
So it's
Nothing
waiting
matter
on,
with
yeah. So we agree with you, and yeah,
I
anything
totally
we can
agree.
do to help. Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. McRatney, yeah, this is very, we're all on board, like Mayor
Yeah.
Fontaine said. But I promise you that every time we get in front of a minister, whether it's from Saskatchewan or Manitoba, I don't care if it's the Minister of Sports Recreation, we talk about our healthcare and how, and the uniqueness of our area of you know, and you've got to come, you've got to understand the uniqueness of where we are, and not, and healthcare is the biggest one. And so Mayor Fontaine and Councillor Dallas Funk did a yeoman's job, but we're always on it, and I love the fact that you're organizing.
Yeah.
Just a little information there, and this is talking with Erin. Her name is Erin Shim. She grew up in Flin Flon. Maureen was dialysizing one day, and this young lady, well, middle-aged lady now, come over and introduced herself and started talking to Maureen in the unit in Saskatoon.
I didn't recognize her.
She says to Maureen, and she, being the head of Saskatoon, northeastern Saskatchewan, she reads all the new patients in the part of her job just to do that. She sought out Maureen and had a discussion with her. And then during the discussion, she says to Maureen, she says, "You don't remember me, do you, Miss McRatney?"
And it was really funny because the whole time we were chatting, I kept thinking, I should know this girl, but that would be impossible. Turns out I was right. I was her Girl Guide leader.
Aww.
I knew her when she was a little girl.
Without Erin, that's the day we won the lottery.
Yeah.
Because without her, I don't think this would have transformed as fast as it did.
Yeah.
Even though it took 8.5 months. And you're right. Dialysis, whatever you call it, nephrology, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, the health ministers, all the government, all those people, they from day one said this is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? It's supposed to be universal health care.
Exactly.
Well, it's not the government and it's not those people in those areas that the problem is. It's the shared health board and the doctors of physicians and surgeons where the roadblock lies.
They did mention.
Why they call it shared health, I don't know, because they're not sharing.
Previous
Good
government.
thing. They are now.
Nikki
Good
Cool,
point.
who worked for whatever you call it, dialysis, Reno, Manitoba for 17 years. Quit her job over this issue because she got tired of fighting with shared health and the doctors, the physicians and surgeons. That's where that information come from. She quit her job. She said, I've had enough. Because we were right at the end of what do we do now? Like, we're back in Saskatoon. We don't know for how long. We don't know what's going on. And within 10 days after getting back, it all changed. Boom. Something happened. We don't know what. We don't care, but something happened.
Well,
where
I
we
think
could
you
come
have to
to-
give a testament to yourself and to your family. You guys really lobbied
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
and advocated
Wow.
for yourself. So one
Thank
family
my
can-
daughter Paige,
yeah,
because
one family can make a difference, and your family did. So
but going forward, I don't know if it's my plan. I don't know if I'll be on the board or anything like that. All I want to know is that it's going to go forward.
Rick, what I'm gonna ask you is this, because we're gonna close this conversation
Yeah.
now. But what I'm gonna tell you is maintain, I know that you've got a passion for this. Just because you got what you need for now, don't let that stop you. We will need people, we will need voices. It is one of many issues, health related, that we'll need. So, we're gonna be needing to bang the drum, and that's everybody here, regardless of, whether you agree on other things or not, you're all gonna have to be working together on this. So, keep doing that. We'll do everything we can. We have people going to Manitoba conferences in Brandon next month. We also have people going to Saskatchewan conferences in Regina and Suma. And those issues will be brought up by our people for sure. They will grab a hold of some sleeves and have conversations. So we'll continue to do that. It's not ending here. And for it to happen, it's going to be them talking to Raj, talking to all those people that just keep pounding, because it's not going to happen overnight.
No.
So nobody can let this rest. Okay. I don't know how it's going to formulate in the end, what the pattern will be, but I know that we all have to continue. So we're committed to doing it from our end. Okay. But I'm going to let this sit for now, so we can continue with the meeting if that's okay.
And just one more again, thank you, and God bless.
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming.
Okay, I'm going to move on right now from here to number 4, which is Councilor Dallas Monk with check schedule.
Check schedule 12-02, be it resolved that the accounts in the amount of $618,465.93 be approved for payment.
And the second, it would be Councilor Slip. All in favor? And that is done. Let's see, the next one, is that you again?
It's Eagle.
Judy.
It's the Eagle.
Councilor.
Where am I missing this? There's someone here.
Right under check.
It's
Oh, down here.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a bit.
So Councilor
crowded.
Eagle, please.
Thank you, Mr.
I'll
Mayor.
get my readers going.
This is resolution 12-03. It's the second reading of traffic amendment bylaw. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-03, being a bylaw of the city of Flin Flon to amend bylaw 5/2003, pardon me, a bylaw of the city of Flin Flon for the regulation of traffic and parking, Schedule M, and that's designated parking spaces, be read a second time and passed on second reading.
Okay. And now we need a seconder, which is Councilor Hanson. All in favor? Okay. We move to 4.3, Councilor Hanson.
Yes, I have a traffic amendment. 1204. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-04, being a bylaw of the city of Flin Flon to establish a reduced maximum permitted speed for vehicles, be read a first time and passed on first reading.
Okay, we need a seconder. Thank you, Councilor Eagle, and we need an explanation. We're reducing the speed where?
This is to do with the school division?
Yes,
This is to do
yes,
with the,
yes. We've done some looking into the school divisions.
Yeah,
And so there are some areas where there currently are school signs that are incorrect. They should not be school signs, but there are crossings there. And so one of the things that Ted had talked about was putting like pedestrian crossing
yeah.
so that it wouldn't slow down.
Okay.
So this, I could just add to that because Mr. Elliott and I worked on this together.
Yes.
Over a few days. We consulted the regulations very specifically. We looked at legislation besides, and we looked at the bylaw that we had, and we filled in some of those blanks. For example, Half Knot Collegiate at one point in 2018 had taken over that track. That then becomes school property, and that means that school division. So that means that there had to be an adjustment in that respect as well for the road coming not just down Green Street, but also number 10. So it's comprehensive, it's up to date, and we're ready to do third reading in a few weeks.
So, all in favor? And that's passed. Thank you. I appreciate that, because you see these things that just sound like, what is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, reduce school speed.
So the next one again is,
Bill?
4.4.
yes, it is, but it's Councillor Hanson again?
This is 52-05. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-05 being a bylaw of the City of Flin Flon to amend bylaw number 5 of 2003, a bylaw of the City of Flin Flon for the regulation of traffic and parking, be read a first time and passed on first reading.
Okay, we need a seconder for that.
I got it.
Councillor Slip? Do we need an explanation? I don't think we do, it's more of the
It's more
same.
the same, yes.
Okay, all in favor?
I think,
Actually,
no, this is
Whoops,
not, this
it's
is
not.
parking for in front of shawarma, I believe.
Oh, this is the
Yes.
This is where.
handicap parking.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is different, all right.
So
On half.
shawarma, it's yellow on the one
Yeah.
side, which is on the hill, so that's
Oh,
not great.
interesting.
That's not great for parking. So they've asked to have a designated handicap parking spot up on the flat surface in
Yeah.
front of by their
So it'll
door.
be in front of 44
Yeah,
house.
You know
so,
where I had to stop today?
yeah.
On the middle of the street and crawl over a snowbank with my wife was,
Yeah.
it was a real, yes, all in favor?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get that snow removed from Ethel's house for the last 4.5 years.
So that's what that is.
Thank you.
You seem
Well,
to
it
clean the
seems
liquor
so funny
store,
that,
but not her place.
I had that difficulty today.
Well,
Councillor Richardson?
Okay.
Council meeting 12-06, be it resolved that the council meeting for April 16th, 2024 be rescheduled to April 23rd, 2024.
Okay, seconder? Councillor Dallas Funk? All in favor? Okay,
And that's just due to the fact that we're going away to council meeting or conferences, so there won't be enough of us here to make sure the resolutions are passed.
then it's Councillor Niblin.
I have two resolutions, your worship. First up is 1207. Be it resolved that the city of Flin Flon enter into an agreement with Flin Flon and District Environment Council, Inc. for the maintenance at the Flin Flon landfill for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024, and that mayor and the chief administrative officer be authorized to sign the agreement on behalf of the city.
Perfect. Seconder, Councillor Eagle? All in favor? Long-standing agreement. Councillor Niblin?
Resolution 1208, be it resolved that the city of Flin Flon provide a recycling grant to the Flin Flon and District Environment Council, Inc. for 2024 in the amount of $12.50 per capita.
Okay, seconder, Councillor Richardson. All in favor? Once again, the standard. And Councillor Slip.
Animal control report for February 2024, resolution 12-09. Be resolved that the animal control report for the month of February, 2024 be received and filed.
Okay, do we get a seconder on that one? Councillor Richardson? All in favor? Okay, that is done. And we are ready for your adjournment. So, we shall. I guess this is questions right now. First of all, please.
Well, just, I got one question, Minister General, saying good to see you back, George.
Thank you.
Good to see you back. And the question I have is this first reading here, the be it resolved bylaw 2024-03. It says the city of Flin Flon for the regulation of traffic and parking will be read a second time. Where is this, what's this referring to?
Which one are we, 2003?
Yeah, like, what is that referring to?
Well, was that not the one you said about the schools, Lynn?
yeah, that's the one.
That was reduced schools.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Reduced
correct.
speed school zone, that was.
because this says the traffic and parking schedule, designated parking spaces.
It's just what it's called,
That's about school zones is what that's about?
no, traffic and
just a minute.
traffic and parking.
2024-03, just let me look it up.
That's not the same one that was
No,
read
that's
about
right.
the
Oh,
school.
maybe I'm-
Do you think we have an error in the, okay.
Because when I read it, the prelim, before it came, one is for the school zones and then one is for the parking outside of Flin. So there's two
Yeah.
different
Yeah, the
numbers
first one
there.
was the
Yeah.
second one.
This-
Or one
yeah.
was,
The third one in front of the
Yeah.
house.
Well, reduced speeds is 4.3.
Yeah, 4.3 is reduced speeds, 4.2, is it, okay, I bet it's the one in front of the house.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
west side of Hapnot beginning 40 meters
oh, you're
south
right,
of
the
Third
house on
Avenue
half not.
and extending 20 meters in southerly direction and adding the west side of Hapnot Street beginning 10 meters south of Angel Avenue. This is the one in front of Shawarma.
We flipped them, we just flipped them.
The other
Yeah.
one, yes,
That's what
but
I'm
there's
thinking.
three.
There's three.
The other one is for a no parking zone in front of the gentleman who's having mobility challenges.
Right,
Yes.
He
On
can't
Hill
get out his
Street.
door.
That's on Hill Street.
on Hill Street.
Yes, that's, thank you for that.
So it's-
Okay, so 4.2 is the shawarma then, the one then?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and 4.4 is where, sorry?
on Hill Street.
Hill Street, okay,
Just giving the residents some accessibility.
Yeah.
okay.
which we've done.
Yeah,
Yellow there?
it is, but nobody pays attention.
It's yellow, but it doesn't have a sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already painted yellow there, but it doesn't have a sign, and so people keep parking there, and then the handyman can't get there to get him, or people can't
Can't
pull
get
up
out
to
of his
pick him
yard.
up. So we're gonna put a sign there now.
Okay. And the only other thing I have is, would it be possible to get these minutes emailed to me like it was at one time, so I can look at stuff before I come to the meetings? I don't know who looks after that, but,
That'd be Jane.
Jane,
We'll make sure you do.
okay, thank you. That's all I have.
We just.
Okay, anybody else?
I have a question. You're talking about parking and yellow and people
Well, just a-
parking wherever they want.
Just a second, 10 seconds. What?
So we're gonna do Eric is
Yes.
online.
Oh, I'm sorry,
So
there's
you have
Eric.
some questions before we go to the public
I
question.
didn't realize Eric was there.
He's,
I didn't recognize his
I'm
face.
like, where's Eric?
I may have to repeat his question for you. Yep, we can hear you, Eric.
Okay, excellent. Sorry for my absence. I'm sick as a dog. It's better as they here to be there right now. First, I wanted to ask Mayor Fontaine how it feels to be back in the big chair after such a long time away.
It feels very good. Feels very good. I'm very proud to be in this chair. I've been selling Flin Flon to everybody I meet when I was in Winnipeg, and I've been recruiting people to come and work here. You know, I've been recruiting people to come buy homes here. I can't help myself. I'm always bragging about this place. So yeah, I'm pretty thrilled to be back.
Okay, excellent. And all the best for you and Nora. I'm glad to
Thank
see
you.
you back. Also wanted to ask about the reduced speed area bylaw here. The school zones mentioned here. Were there any changes to the particular zones that are mentioned in this versus what's already down in city policy?
Yes. There were a few changes. There were a few revisions and a few additions to bring it up to the regs and to make sure that we addressed, it's Judy Eagle here, and make sure that we addressed what needed to be addressed around Hapnot Collegiate that wasn't. So there have been changes, but we could provide you with those changes after the meeting because this would take a while for now.
Okay, well, I've got the amendment up in front of me here. And thank you to Thomas for sending the agenda. And there is establishment of reduced schools or reduced speed school zones. There are a couple of areas mentioned, specific portions of streets and blocks and everything like that. Were there any added to this that weren't already enshrined in the bylaw before?
I didn't hear that.
Was there anything added that wasn't there before?
Yeah,
Sounds like there was.
Yes, there was. There was something added for Hapnot Collegiate that wasn't there before.